What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis?
We want your soul.
It really is a time when all of us have got to start talking louder than ever. The rapid speed of, if you like, globalization, the world government, world army, world central bank, world currency, world microchip population.
Don't be afraid.
No, be afraid. Be very afraid.
The important thing is to know where they want to take us.
They have to destroy the dollar, destroy the pound, destroy the old order, while they've been building the new world order, this technological enslavement system.
The FBI is taking on $1 billion project to gather fingerprints, palm patterns, even digital pictures of faces. Eventually, it could expand to include iris patterns, face-shape patterns, scars, even information about how you walk and talk. It's called biometrics.
We want your soul.
You can't handle the truth.
Time to Howl the Wolves. It's Saturday night, August 15, 2026 or 2026. What did they say at the Bilderberg Group?
As you like it.
Lieutenant Keith Temple in Black Sheep Studio with me. How are you?
I am awesome. Glad to be here.
Co-host Brooks Agnew, Dr. Brooks Agnew. You can find him at brooksagnew.com. How are you, Brooks?
Doing very well. It's been a good week. Rained every day, not heavy, but just enough to keep the grass green. And I don't think I've ever seen a summer this green in North Carolina. Usually it dries out for 3 weeks or 4 weeks, but no, not this year. It's staying green and growing.
Well, can't complain about that.
Unless you're trying to pour a footer, then you can complain.
Then you can complain. Damn straight. I have a little surprise. Well, a couple, I don't know. But a little surprise for you in a moment when producer Tony is ready. Brooks, you did an incredible job. I just have to, and that's part of the surprise, but there's a surprise. But you did an incredible job last Saturday night with us covering Extortion 17 with Charles and Mary Strange.
I appreciate that.
Well, I mean, you did something that I could not do. I had a 2.5 hour phone conversation with them a couple of days before the show, and they are concerned. They were concerned about legalities because they have this thing going on with NCIS. What does that actually stand for in the Navy, Keith? NCIS.
Naval Investigative Service. There you go, Tony. You got some cool tunes, man.
But in Navy Special Warfare and the mainstream media saying that Gold Squadron wasn't there, but that's all unraveling and falling apart because Gold Squadron was there, and then they put Gold Squadron on that Chinook. You were brilliant last Saturday night when you navigated through it to bring up the so-called Bin Laden raid and put it together.
The connection between
and
events.
Extortion.
Yep.
Well, I didn't hear it that way in the news, but that's the intuition that I put to it. That was the reason why they were put on that Chinook, because they went on the Bin Laden raid. They didn't kill Bin Laden, they killed somebody else. And they were ordered to say they killed Bin Laden, and sooner or later the truth was going to come out, because SEALs will follow orders, but SEALs also have duty, honor, country, and eventually the truth would come out. Obama knew it, so he had him killed.
That's exactly correct. And what we've been talking about Charles has been on the show since 2012 with the first time with Amy Waters Jarzynski, and that's when they sent the photos of the aftermath of, and the pictures of the SEALs outside of the helo, and obviously Michael, and they weren't burned. There was a firefight, and we didn't get into it last Saturday night, but folks, Charles, if you watched the show last Saturday night, he leaned out to explain what Michael looked like. He had a SIG gripped. He was, his magwell and his M4, his rifle was empty, so he's down to his pistol. There's a firefight, and Michael was shot multiple times and all this. So with the others, but I got this clip ready for you, Brooks, from last Saturday night because because it's you doing this so well. It's only Brooks Agnew can do it. Holding this too. That's no surprise.
Yeah, I mean, so the question everyone in the world wants to know is, who did they shoot in the face? The highest value target on planet Earth, supposedly, that night. They could have bagged him and tagged him and brought him back like Noriega or Maduro or anybody else, but they shot him in the face and then they dumped him in the ocean.
Right.
Who did they shoot in the face? That was why these guys went down the gauntlet and got taken out.
Omar Sheikh is who they shot in the face.
Omar Sheikh, yep.
And dumped him in the ocean because that's not Bin Laden. That guy was dead in December 2001.
Oh, long time.
Bin Laden's making pizza in Chicago. What are you talking about?
Yeah, probably.
Half of his family's still here. So.
Hey, I want to get back. Very good, Brooks. That was awesome to bring that up. That helps our view. Brooks, you navigated that so well. That clip right there to bring that up. I mean, it was
thanks.
incredible because they weren't gonna. I didn't know how to bring it up. You navigated it so well to bring it up, and then they were happy to talk about it. I love how Charles, was like, Bin Laden's making pizza in Chicago.
Yeah, probably.
But if you didn't bring that up, that's a part of the show last Saturday night, which was very important. If you didn't bring it up, then there's we got a lot of stuff to talk about, obviously. I'm just saying, going over last Saturday night show and that brilliance from you right there was, I was just, that's why I had to have Tony grab that clip. And we actually could have grabbed more clips, and then that's, the entire show is just recapping, But it's very important for people to understand exactly what you said right there. Who did they shoot?
Yeah.
Who
I don't
did
know,
they shoot?
but it wasn't Bin Laden.
Yeah, sure shit wasn't Bin Laden. And Mary, for a long time, and Charles, they know the whole Omar Sheikh thing, and Omar Sheikh. Madeleine Albright, you know how stuff it's never off the internet, but you have to dig and dig and dig.
Sure.
Madeleine Albright gave a press conference saying that Omar Sheikh did a mercy killing on Bin Laden in December of 2001.
Wow.
I mean, it's Madeleine Albright. It's not Jimmy Jim from
Yeah.
So it's. Anyway, of course, stuff's going to be buried and all this, and somehow Gold Squadron, but it is coming out, and I'll shut up about last night's show, but I'm just saying it is coming out because, as Charlie was saying last Saturday night, and we talked about Sean had Eddie Penny on, and another DevGru SEAL on, and they mentioned Michael. And they mentioned others, and the fact that Gold Squadron was there, and then Sean whoop, changed the subject. It's weird. Gold Squadron cannot have been on Extortion 17. They could not have been in the Bin Laden raid, even though they were on the Bin Laden raid. Anyway, we'll leave it alone.
And who did you say was it? Was it Alex Jones or someone had said as soon as they were outed, is that they now have a clock on their,
Alex Jones, the moment the Bin Laden raid happened, Alex said, and Alex, by the way, had Charles Strange on his show, and I meant to mention this because Alex was so gracious to Charlie and Mary. He had them on her show, and I won't say what the amount, but he had them on the show, and then gave him a good amount of dough to help him out.
Well, they got a great foundation. And,
Yeah, but it was really cool of Alex to do that. That's what I'm saying. But to answer your question, you can find this too. Alex Jones, the moment the so-called Bin Laden raid happened and Bin Laden was killed, blah, 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 Alex on his next show said, "Those SEALs are deader than a hammer." That's the quote.
Well, I didn't say anything the first half of the show last week, I don't think. I was just so impressed and appreciative of Mary and Charles Strange. I mean, just
aren't they awesome, good folks?
I mean, what solid, down to earth Americans. They didn't ask to be in the spotlight here. They had a son that was a SEAL, that was in this situation, and then all of a sudden they find themselves in, you know, and it was clear to me from listening from last show is they just want the truth. Let's disclose what the truth is. Let's deal with the truth, you know, and move on. And this whole idea of official story, unofficial story, things not matching up. True Americans are like, no, let's seek the truth. And I think that's one of the real themes of this show. And I'm really glad, Chad, that you had him on last week.
I'll continue having him on, and until we get to the truth. And you know, with the help of Roger, 47's has been reminded, and this is happening. So that's cool. It's gonna fuck a lot of people up, but that's good. Because I think Brooks can, I mean, we basically hammered it, maybe we have before, but you expose Extortion 17, you expose the Bin Laden raid, and it all goes back to 9/11. How much shit goes back to 9/11, Brooks?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Well, it was, you know, it was, I won't say it was a coup, but it was a shot in the engine room of the American economy. World Trade Centers were symbolic. The way that they were taken down, and there are all kinds of conspiracies, theories about it. The things that make sense because we all watched it live on TV, and the things that don't make sense, like the official story of, you know, how the buildings fell in their own footprint minutes apart. And I mean, 1 out of a million shot that one of the buildings would have fallen in its own footprint with only kerosene stoking the flames. 1 in a billion shot that both buildings would do the same thing minutes apart. It just screams controlled demolition. And the more I watch it, the more, you know, I see it. And when you hear of contractors working on the building for up to 2 years to place explosives, several floors being shut down for months at a time, no business at all going on those floors except those floors where the charges were set. And the witnesses that survived it saying what they heard were multiple explosions before the building shuttered and started to come down. You put all those things together, and then you run smack dab into this wall where you say to yourself, but wait, if all that's true, then what happened to the people on the planes? If the planes were controlled, you know, remote controlled airplanes that flew into buildings because the pilots that got blamed for doing it couldn't even fly a Cessna 172 and do that, what happened to the people? Who killed the people on the planes? It was us. Somebody in our country did that. And then they killed those people that did the killing. They covered their tracks so many times, you'll never get to the people that actually did it, but you still run into that wall. You still run into that wall that the people on the planes were murdered by somebody in this country.
Oh yeah, it's a big deal, and our 9/11 show, at the request of this guy in Penning, but at the request, yeah, Richard Gage is going to be on the show.
What a wonderful guy.
And so we'll do an hour with him, and then cover another hour as much as we can of 9/11, which is so damn immense. It's absolutely immense. Hani Hanjour failed flight school and couldn't fly a Cessna. Little Hani Hanjour, but somehow you got to remember, Brooks, Hani Hanjour, he flew that Boeing 757, American 77, right, just grazed over the Pentagon lawn right into the accounting office of the Pentagon. Hani Hanjour, spiral, corkscrew, turn perfectly, and then right into the accounting office of the Pentagon, where the Pentagon was missing $2.3 trillion. Yeah.
Brooks, I got a present for you.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Can I show him?
Well, sure.
There you go, Brooks.
But don't put it on camera.
Don't put it on camera.
I'm just kidding.
There you go. Brooks, I've been working about 6 weeks, maybe 2 months, and I'm gonna grab the bigger.
I would say this might show up better
that
on the
probably
camera.
shows up better, but
he's got this bound. But
I
it's
got this
smaller.
one bound for you, and it's still a draft version. I still got some margin issues and some color coordinating on the title and that type of stuff. But I've mentioned before that I went to the Supreme Court now 25 years ago, and I now have really close to being released a paperback book dealing with that event. But as Chad said when he read his copy, I blew him away that after the accounting of it and the legal case, all of a sudden, and I'm flipping through yours because it's easier, I get into a lot of the things that we talk about 9/11 and Building 7 and those things. So I'm going to drop you a copy with your T-shirts. Okay. And I would like for you to read it and give me some feedback as an 8-time bestseller, and give this rookie attempting to be an author a few tips and feedbacks before I print a few advanced copies out.
Okay, I'll do that.
And I have to reach over. Hold on.
There you go.
And we're also, of course, sending you, Brooks, your own Earth Radio coffee mug.
All right.
That's the night that my son sat in for me, and Roger Stone and you and
cool.
And Ian were.
Yeah, Ian Trottier.
Cool.
Yeah. That picture came out damn good, actually.
We can thank Tony for that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We'll have to send Ian a coffee mug, too.
Sure. Absolutely. Well, the idea is that that was a great show. I mean, I don't think there are too many live podcasts that have the guest receiving a call from the President of the United States.
Well, Roger has given us a little thing that's going to happen fairly soon, as far as to us. So that's you can't make it happen like magic, but it's going to happen. Brooks, I love the NASA shirt.
Thanks.
Nice. I got a win everything shirt.
Trying not to get paint on it.
Yeah. Have you been painting?
Yes.
Oh boy.
I had to paint those 2 rooms before I laid the flooring, and now I got to go paint the trim.
painting is. I painted last week. I painted a house, the outside of a house, with a buddy of mine. He has his own business and everything, and that was 8 hours of hell.
It's been hot,
Oh,
humid, and
he was doing the he was. I was just rolling the walls out, Brooks, on the outside of the house, and when you get done all the way around the house, then he reminded me, we got to roll them out again. Fuck. Got to roll the damn walls out again. Yeah. I brought a gallon of water, and the homeowner had to open up his refrigerator for me because I went through that entire gallon of water.
I can imagine. It's been in the upper 90s every day.
Dude. It was, yeah. It's one of those country club houses. It's a nice house. It's not, it's not like, the big time country club houses, but
Good size.
yeah, nice golf course
There you go.
and everything. Yeah, painting. Brooks is the most boring shit.
Watching paint dry.
Yeah, well, it's all about the 5 worlds of existence here. You
Yeah.
can't, once you understand the 5 worlds of existence, you don't mind doing any of that stuff.
I like that. I like that saying there too. I do. And by the way, Jonathan, he listens to the show. I met him, the guy I was painting with, Brooks. I met him the day I first did this show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 2009. We were doing the show 2009 to 2011. It was 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern on WJSJ and 105 FM. But he was doing, because he owns his own business, he was doing work for the radio station, and he was listening, and remember, there was a progressive talk radio station that we were first on, and so Drake and I were just pissing everybody off. Drake's a black man who hates Obama. Just and I'm some guy on the show saying that 9/11 was an inside job and blah blah blah. It was craziness. But Jonathan came up to me. He waited after the show. He's like, I just needed to talk to you. I've never heard anything like this on this station before. Anyone talking like this, and it's like, well, I don't know. I've never done a radio show before. So, I mean, I only know what to talk about. Anyway, we became friends. So that's how we became friends. And it was a long time ago, kind of. You know what's crazy about that, Brooks, is Jonathan and Jabbar, who was in Iraq, who also listens to the show. He moved to Atlanta a couple years ago. And another buddy of mine, when the show was 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern, the 4 of us would always get together and go to Hooters for lunch after the show. And
for the wings.
Yeah, for the wings and the wings only.
They have the best buffalo chicken
job.
sandwich. I don't care what you guys say. They do.
They are, and that's why we went for the wings and the buffalo chicken sandwich. And they had really nice napkins, for the wings. But we would do that, and I kid you not, because the show's on Saturday. It's just Saturday nights now, but it was 2011, August 6th, Saturday, and we're sitting there at Hooters, and there's no sound on the TVs, but what is on the station? The fact that Extortion went down.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got home, at the time I didn't live in Jacksonville. I lived at this log home that my second stepdad and we built this log home, and it's in the middle of nowhere, an hour outside of Jacksonville. But I get back to the log home and I turn on the TV and it's on Fox. And what are they saying? No members that participated in the Bin Laden raid were on Extortion 17.
Oh, really? Is that what they said?
Yes. And then I turn it to CNN, same thing. MSNBC, same thing. ABC, same thing. Scott Hare found all of those clips. They're buried, and he found them a couple of years ago, and we played them on the show. It's hard to, he found them.
Wow.
They were all in unison saying no members. Now, why would you say that?
Yeah. And why? Yeah,
But it's
all of them. You know, it's
every
like what
station.
Brooks said about
It's
about
a talking
the
point.
towers.
Yep.
You know, about okay, if one network says it, well, maybe, but
They're all saying it at the same
but
time.
if 5 or 6 networks are all saying it, and it's a weird thing to be saying, is just somebody's feeding all 5 or 6 networks some
Well, because it's
talking points.
It's controlled mainstream media, but the point that they're them sitting there saying every one of them in unison, no members that participated in the Bin Laden raid were on Extortion 17, which is bullshit. Well, there's no reason to say that,
Yeah.
but they're all saying it at the same time. So I'll never forget that.
Well, I guess they know what's coming, and they're trying to head off the conspiracy by laying down their own conspiracy.
Exactly. Exactly.
But we get banned for community standards misinformation, and they can boldface lie, right?
Oh, yeah. Holy shit, Brooks. If we tell someone about, NATO Knees, holy fuck. We tell someone about, how to keep themselves healthy, how to cure stuff, holy yes, now you bring that up, and then I'm just gonna shut up because I'll just get us in trouble completely. But I will say this: everyone listening to us on Rumble, hello, X, hello, YouTube, hello. YouTube to me has, maybe it exists on other places too, but YouTube has a hell of a lot of scams that are ads.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy. But they'll ban us for telling people how to keep themselves healthy. But they'll put, there's tons of scam ads on YouTube. It's crazy. And now we're banned.
Oh, well, we got to talk to Tony about getting on that new platform. But
yeah.
But anyway.
But Brooks, you understand what I'm saying. It's crazy how many scams.
It's true. I often wonder why, YouTube has so many ads. But I guess the reason is that they sell stuff. People run those ads. Eventually, somebody buys, and that's why they run the ads.
Yeah, yeah. So YouTube, have your standards, but let us tell people how to keep themselves healthy. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Apricot seeds. Holy shit.
Bitter treats. They're like candy.
Brooks, what's on your, by the way, so Richard Gage and Chris, that's what I have written down, Chris Peranto.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Peranto can come on in October if you're good with that.
Yeah, I'm good with it. I'll be here.
You might be here. we want to bring you here in October sometime if we can.
We'll see.
That's a good month to go down to Florida.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be cooling the F off finally. The leaves won't be turning any color. It's Florida.
Yeah, it is Florida.
It's what I miss about Louisville, Kentucky, man. You actually have all 4 seasons. But here in Florida, you have summer and winter. Kind of.
Well, Brooks, let's talk midterms and voter registration cleaning up. What's your thoughts? Are we making enough progress? Or are we stalled? Or what's going on here?
Well, it's going to be the showdown at the OK Corral.
Yeah.
The 21 states have staked out their position. we're not turning over our voter rolls for nobody, no how. Federal government can stay out. We're going to run our election the way we want to run it. The federal government is saying, yeah, but there's this little issue about foreign governments attacking our election infrastructure. And we have evidence that your state has taken millions of dollars to maintain a corrupt election system. And we have the evidence that in the last 4 or 5 national elections, you have let dead people, illegals, duplicates, and counterfeit ballots count as real ballots, and have swung several elections. We have the evidence. Of course, the states are saying, "Oh, you have no evidence because it's never been presented in court. No judge has ever made a decision on it." And of course, the reason is because the judiciary, from top to bottom, has been conspiring with one another to keep the evidence and the hearings and the indictments, everything out of the courts. They don't want the discovery. They don't want the evidence to be made official by a judge. And they've been very careful about that, even though over 25 states have already sued. State legislatures have threatened to not certify elections because of the fraud. And of course, that's what J6 was all about. So it is, the floor has steadily been getting painted with red, and now President Trump is in a corner. Now, it can be said that, he's been painted into that corner. It can also be said that he painted himself in that corner very, very tactfully, very skillfully, so that he only has one move left. And that move is to declare, as I've been saying for about 90 days now, to declare a state of national emergency under the War Powers Act to not federalize the election, but come down with federal rules that the states must comply with in order to qualify to participate in the election. And that is going to be do away with not just mail-in ballots. People get stuck on mail-in ballots. Mail-in ballots utilizes the mail. Okay, you take one ballot to the post office with all the proper stuff on the surface of it, and the postmaster is instructed the people behind the counter, this is what a ballot looks like. Here's what it has to have on it before you accept it. One ballot per person. That is not really the issue. The issue is the drop-in ballots, the drop box ballots. There are thousands and thousands of drop boxes that are not monitored. There's no chain of custody. Anybody can walk up to a drop box every single day. They can stuff a ballot into it. Every single day they can stuff 100 ballots into it. And it's been documented, filmed and documented and revealed by none other than Dinesh D'Souza in his film
2,000
Mules.
Yep.
The drop boxes are a weakness in our election system. Trump needs to outlaw the drop boxes. They need to immediately take the National Guard, gather them all up, and smash them. Every single drop box in the nation. And then they need to say, now you need to open precincts and let people vote in person. We're not doing the drop box ballots anymore. And if the ballot is not received in the counting station on election day, by election day, it doesn't count. When the polls close, that's it. No more ballots come in.
And the drop boxes, they started in COVID? I mean, what's the justification for
they started
Dropbox?
during COVID. We had Zuckerberg donated $400 million to create, I call them Zucker boxes, but $400 million buys you a lot of metal boxes, let me tell you. They're everywhere, in every state. And I think they should be banned. They should be made illegal. If they do it, it needs to be done before Labor Day, because by Labor Day, all the primaries are done, and now we know who's on the ballot. You don't know who's on the ballot until Labor Day. Once you know who's on the ballot, there are states that open voting the next day on Monday. They open voting. Early voting starts. because now the ballots can be printed with all the names on them, right? You can't have a vote until all the names are on the ballot. So he needs to ban the drop boxes before Labor Day. It's coming. I mean, it's coming.
What's the justification for the drop box?
The justification was it was considered super spreader activity to stand in a line at a voting station. The drop boxes allowed people to come without being exposed to the flu. They could put their ballot in and not get sick. That was the justification for it.
And what's the justification now for continuing them?
Because it's a great business plan, and that's how they cheat.
Yeah, I'm just asking the obvious question, right? I got you.
And people ask me, well, don't you think that'll start a civil war? No, it won't start a civil war, because 80% of the people know it is a way to cheat. They know it is, and they want the drop boxes done away with. Now, for states like Washington State, that has been run by communists since 1959, that kind of blows my mind that they've been in power that long in Washington State, and Oregon too. Washington does not have in-person voting. It's all remote. You have no idea who's voting in Washington. Pakistanis are voting in Washington. Chinese are voting in Washington. All you have to do is fill out the paper, put it in the drop box, and it counts.
Did you see that? Did you see that video of the guy in Michigan vouching for 8 people in the farm? I mean, what the most insane! And the poll workers are.
You saw the
there.
video put out by James O'Keefe, where he dressed as an Islamic guy and got to vote multiple times for friends.
You're vouching. You're the ID for these 8 guys that you're saying. Whatever. I mean, seriously. I can't believe it.
I mean, that's why you don't need voter ID.
No, I vouch for you, man.
Yeah.
Same day.
By the way, important announcement. My 7th granddaughter was born yesterday.
Woohoo.
Her name is Winnie.
Winnie, congratulations, Brooks.
That's what I'm talking
so
about.
now that's 7th granddaughter.
Yeah.
How many grandsons?
Yes, 2.
2. Okay, you're getting there. Good for you. Believe it or not, although I thought you were younger than me, but you're a few years senior to me. I have 3 granddaughters and 2 grandsons. So. Passing on a better America to them.
Brooks, I'm trying to get him. Eventually, we will have this guy next to me become a biohacker. Eventually.
Yeah, there you go.
Look out if you do.
Every once in a while, I get him to take some stuff. Every once in a while, he'll take some stuff home. But, he's getting there. He's getting there.
Yeah.
Biohacking, folks. It's the way to go.
My cardiologist, when you get to be our age, you have a cardiologist.
I do.
He is so amazed, that I have my own blood work done every 90 days, and I review it. And the things that are low, I work on, and things that are high, I work on. He said, I've been a doctor for a long time. His name is Dr. Rao, like you could ever spell it, but Rao, and he's getting old. And he says, I don't think I have a patient ever in my whole life that does that.
Huh.
Well, that's why you have patients.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not been to a physician in a long time, and I know some people will be like, well, Chad, what the are you doing? But I haven't.
But you can order your own panels. Just go pay for it. It's like $175 or something. You get your own panel and get your own numbers back, and then you know what they know. You know what they will see. And you see, oh gosh, I have protein in my urine. I have, sugar in my blood. I've got, you'll see what's out of balance because it'll show you. where you stand with respect to what's the spec and how if you're high or low, and you can adjust your diet and your lifestyle to fix those things. And if you can't adjust your diet or lifestyle, you can biohack like we do.
Biohack away, man. Listen, Dave Osprey, I'm still trying to get that cat on the show, but folks, Dave Osprey, he wrote the book Superhuman. He's the father of biohacking. So if you have any questions about biohacking, hey, look up Dave Osprey and that book Superhuman, and holy yes. The last time I went to a GP, Dr. Garcia Rivera, he's an awesome guy. He wanted to do blood work, Brooks, and all this blah blah blah. Because I hadn't. And so when the test results came back, he said, "Chad, you're going to die tomorrow." I'm just kidding. But he said, "I have never seen anything like this before. In your cholesterol levels, the good and bad, blah blah blah. What is going on?" And I'm like, I don't know. I was told not. I start having a conversation with him about all the stuff that I do and take and everything, and then we get into. He asked me, well, because it was almost flu season. Holy shit! And he said, "Do you want to get a shot?" And I was like, "No." and I told him, look, there's, for example, there's thimerosal in the flu vaccine, and he's like, thimerosal? No, there's not. They took that out years ago. And I was like, no, they didn't. And he went and got a vial, and he looked at the vial right in front of me, and he reached thimerosal, and he was like, I had no idea they still had thimerosal.
Right on.
I mean, so, I don't know if I ever, woke Dr. Garcia Rivera up to a lot. I don't know. He was a great guy. But he definitely was wondering, how the hell your all your levels or your blood work is so awesome and everything. And, do you want a flu shot? No.
I haven't had one since 1976.
Wow. 1976.
Even my mom doesn't get the flu shot. She says she'll never take one again. She took one probably about that time, 76 or so. She said she was sick for a month. She said she'll never
Last
take
time I really got the flu really bad. Well, I did get COVID, but after I licked that, then I discovered ivermectin, and I haven't had a sniffle since.
And you go to brooksagnew.com, folks, he can supply you with some good stuff right there.
Some stuff
the
that
aforementioned
seems to be getting better press. I mean, I love this administration. I mean, I love,
Joe Rogan took it, and of course the MSM just lost their heads.
Yeah, they did. That's misinformation.
Yeah. Funny as hell, because Joe Rogan, you're supposed to be on our side, Joe. No, he's not really on your side anymore. But yeah, brooksagnew.com. You can get yourself some. Can we say ivermectin on? Yeah, we can, right?
No, you can say Ivan.
You can get some Ivan.
Yeah, we call it Ivan and Roxy.
There you go.
Isn't that crazy? Have you watched, and I don't want to change the subject, so I'm going to for a moment, and then I'll just change it right back like a channel switcher. Is it not crazy? I don't know, because people probably don't watch the S that I watch on YouTube. I watch a lot of law enforcement videos, I like police pursuits. But it's amazing to me on YouTube because we don't monetize our YouTube channel. So I guess it's if you monetize it, then you're subject to this. But on those channels, if you say shot, meth, heroin, dead, killed, it's all beeped out. I don't understand where YouTube's parameters are. It's amazing to me. I mean, seriously, it's annoying because it's like you can't say marijuana. You got to say the green stuff, the white powder. It's like people know if it's fucking cocaine and marijuana and if you got killed. No, you got to say unalived. It's stupid.
Is that where that term came up from?
Yes, you got to say
because it was banned. And I'm like, what is this term?
Can't say killed anymore. You have to say unalived.
Yeah,
unalived. I didn't realize that's where that term came.
YouTube has the stupidest. I mean, I'm just doing the best I can to get us banned on YouTube. Apparently tonight, but I'm just saying it's just dumb. It makes no sense that you can't say that's meth or that's cocaine or that's marijuana or that guy just got shot. That's what happened.
Or he's dead.
Yeah,
he's unalived.
You can't say suicide. It's crazy. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, YouTube's got some growing up to do, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, we love you, YouTube, and thank you for having us on.
Well, on another note, as I mentioned 3 weeks ago, I didn't have any proof and it wasn't in the news, but I suspected that Oman and Iran were talking with one another and were about to make a deal to seize control of the Strait of Hormuz.
Yes.
Because they have land on both sides of that waterway. Well, last Wednesday, they inked the deal. And this was supposedly the deal that J.D. Vance was bragging about, that, we're about ready to sign this deal. It's going to be great. And, it's going to lead to a peaceful strait and blah, blah, blah. The signers called the United States a third party in it. A third party. Iran and Oman were making this deal, and U.S. was a nuisance third party.
Huh.
And the terms of the deal were that the U.S. Navy withdraw and end the blockade, and that all of their sanction money be returned to them, and they be paid reparations for the damage that the United States did to their country. Now, does that sound like unconditional surrender to you?
Pretty.
And what was the administration's response?
I'm glad you asked that question. The administration's response was Trump came out and said that we are going to take possession of the strait. It is now going to be called the Strait of America.
Oh.
And I also mentioned, this was about 6 months ago, before even the violence started, that what Trump should do is he should actually set up in Iran a Trump bank, and put the revenue from the oil and from whatever else that they're making money off of with Iran in that bank. And then they should let Persians open accounts in that bank and then move money from the main fund into the Persians' personal bank accounts, like a stipend each month. And this will set up economic enterprise zones inside of Persia. This money does not go through the IRGC. It doesn't go through the leadership of Iran. This goes straight to Persians, not Islamists. Because Islamists only make up about 5 or 6% of the country. That's it. They're just so violent and so well armed that they tell the world that they're in control of Iran. But you and I both know Iran's a very big country. 69 million people live in Iran. And the vast majority of them are not Muslim. So if you put money in their bank accounts, they're going to figure out what to do with the money, like buy, sell, and trade, run their businesses, run their households. And it's going to have nothing to do with the IRGC, and it will isolate them.
Yeah, that's a great point right there. But just like in Syria, a whole lot of Christians.
Yeah, sure. And it's the same thing in Iran. I mean, Iran is Coptic Christian, it's Zoroastrian, it's Arab, but not Muslim. I mean, it was like, I think 100 years ago, they took in 4,000 Muslim refugees because they felt sorry for them. Look at them now.
Yep. That's absolute great points right there. And
the same thing that happened to Iran happened to Dearborn, Michigan.
Dearborn, Michigan. Damn straight. Yeah. Every time I hear Dearborn, Michigan, it takes me back to a MASH episode, and then I got to remember exactly what you're talking about. I just remember Klinger, Dearborn, Michigan. And he was.
Well, the idea is that Brooks, what I think you're saying is that essentially that Muslims migrate to certain areas and then they try to establish their culture in those areas.
No assimilation.
You know, and the bottom line, Chad and I were talking about it before the show here.
What the fuck did we see out in the hallway?
Yeah, exactly. Literally, we saw them. And every female was pushing a stroller with a 18-month-old. And
there was like 12 of them.
Yeah, coming down the hallway. And
they were all wearing their hijabs or whatever the hell they are.
Yeah, and you know,
hijab.
Yeah, and the idea is that what I told Chad as we got to the car was, hey, you know, people come to the United States because the United States is good and is prosperous and has a stable system. Why in the world would you bring the stuff you're fleeing to try to bring it here? Right? I mean, I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, they have a different motivation. I mean, their demon god tells them to kill all non-believers. And I've made this statement before, and I'll make it again. I think all organized religions were created by the Nephilim, and all the offshoots from it are just as failed as the original religions. Jesus came to earth to stop it. He cursed the church. He called them vipers. He called them scribes. He argued with them all the time. He hated the church, if it's possible for Jesus to hate. And he didn't come here to tell us of his divinity. That was a given. He came here to tell us about our divinity and the fact that we don't need a church to get close to him.
Brooks, listen, I think we're in lockstep. You know, I think people need to go. Some people need to go to a place to worship. It's good. I love going with Keith when we go, and all this. But I've always said the same thing. There's a difference between like Keith and I, and some other people who've said, Chad, you know, after what happened with Jennifer, you know, when she was no longer around, it's like, Chad, you need to get back. I was like, I never stopped believing in God. I don't need to go to a church to have my relationship with God. It's me and him, you know, blah blah blah. I've always felt that. but it's good when Keith's a different story because when we just have this relationship with one another. So that is cool when we do go together. But you know, but everyone doesn't have to. Put it this way: what I'm getting at is, there's been people who are like, Chad, you're a Catholic, and I'm like, yeah, I am. I was a Baptist too, I guess. You know, Brother Bill cheated on his wife at Highview Baptist, and then my mom and my Aunt Teresa took me and my cousin out of Highview Baptist and put us in the St. Bernard's Catholic, you know, school, because Brother Bill cheated on his wife. You know, it's like, so I've been baptized as a Baptist, I've been baptized as a Catholic, but then there's other people who are like, well, no, you need to be a 7-day Adventist. I'm like, fuck off. You're not worshiping the Lord correctly because you're a Catholic. You're not really a Christian. And I'm like, just stop that. That's just ridiculous.
Yep.
I mean, that's where stuff gets upsetting to me with the dogma and all this. It's like, I have my relationship with God. When Jennifer was killed, was I absolutely, I mean, that's my best friend, that's my fiance. Did I have a problem? Did I do the cliche, you God, for all this? Of course, because you're a human being. But I never left that. I never lost the faith. I came back, you know. But people who want to go around telling you got to be a 7-day Adventist, you got to be a blah 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 blah, otherwise you're not worshiping the Lord correctly. No, that's where I tell you to shut the fuck up. I'll be polite about it, but shut the fuck up. I can have my own relationship with God. And you know, one of those people who straight up told me that I'm not worshiping correctly. That's just stupid. 7-day Adventist. Any 7-day Adventist out there, I'm a Catholic. You're not going to change me. But we both believe in God, right? That's cool.
My one of my best friends in high school was a 7-day Adventist. He was homeschooled. He was a great kid. His family was a great kid.
They're good people too. Everyone's great.
Awesome kids and all. But yeah, I remember he couldn't eat baked beans because it had pork in it. And had to go to church on Saturday.
Holy shit! They're a pork patrol.
Yeah, so
I didn't know this.
Yeah, no, they don't eat pork.
So they're Muslim.
Yeah, I don't know. They worship on Saturday and from Friday night to Saturday night. But anyway, yeah, I think people do get misguided.
We just lost every 7-day Adventist listener.
Both of them. We lost both of them. Yeah, there's a young lady here in Jacksonville. I remember taking out a couple of times, and she's a nice young lady. She's actually still on my Facebook. And, we went to St. Augustine to watch the fireworks, and I took her out to eat. And I guess she didn't know that bruschetta is ham, right? And bruschetta ham. And so she ordered something.
Pancetta, you're saying?
Yeah, something. Yeah. And she ordered something like that, and it came in, and she made a comment that she couldn't eat it, and I said, well, that's what you ordered. And so the head person came over and said, well, we can have it removed. And then I remember she said that
Pancetta's Italian bacon.
Yeah, Italian bacon.
Oh, I see.
And she goes, well, no, it's touched everything on the plate. I can't eat any of this.
Oh my goodness.
That was the last date that she and I had. I tipped the waiter and all like 35-40%, and apologized. And I mean, she was a nice girl, but I wasn't going to deal with that. I mean, try to deal with that your whole life.
It's weird.
Nope.
I don't recommend eating a lot of pizza, but there's some good pizza. But holy shit, if all you have is veggies on it, if you're gonna take the time to eat pizza.
Now, this Dominican beans and rice is one heck of a meal.
Well, hey, man. That's shout out to my stepdad who taught me how to. He didn't teach me how to speak Spanish. I learned that from the TV and the maids.
The maids.
Yeah, man. Well, my grandfather, my papai was he was really high power attorney in Santo Domingo. So I mean, he had a penthouse in Santo Domingo and then a beach house in Boca Chica, and all this. But the adults at 5, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 every summer in the Dominican Republic, the adults went to play, you know, and all this. I was left with the maids and the TV, which is all in Spanish. So you had to learn Spanish.
Yeah.
So eventually, you know, you learn Spanish as a kid real quick and all this. But the Dominican rice and beans, holy yes.
Well, you did a good job tonight.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a shout out to my Dominican stepdad. It's good stuff. When you have to ask the maid, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you learn real quick when you need breakfast and lunch and all this shit. And the cartoons are all in Spanish. Sesame
That's
Street's
what I
in
was going to
Spanish.
say, the cartoons.
Everything's in Spanish. You know, so I mean, you're going to learn. You're 4 and 5 and 6. You're going to learn Spanish real quick.
We have at our school a pretty good number of ESOL students, English second other language, and they learn pretty quick. You know, they do.
Fluently. I mean, that's the trick.
Enough to communicate.
I wouldn't have learned fluently unless I was there for summer after summer after summer, because he never spoke Spanish at the house.
I have a
stateside.
hard enough time with English. I'm sticking with that and trying to get through.
I think you're doing a good job communicating tonight, Keith. I mean, personally.
I don't know, Brooks. This first attempt to draft a book has been quite humbling. It is quite.
Well, I wrote pretty close to 10,000 articles before I ever wrote my first book. And writing an article, that's not too hard. I mean, anywhere from 500 to 2,000 words.
Mm-hmm.
Writing a book, 110, 120,000 words, and keep a thought all the way through with the chapters and develop your characters and keep the interest of a reader, that is like having a baby. It is really something else.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even do this. This little paperback's about 12,000 words. And, you know, but all of the rereads and I have some really good, diverse friends from very different perspectives and all. And,
he's already got critics for no fucking reason.
But it was quite humbling. I mean, you know, the idea.
It is.
You know, I mean, I was like, holy smokes, I'm embarrassing myself here.
Well, I know guys that try dictating a book, you know, because you can have these dictation programs and they'll transcribe.
Right.
But the issue is that the transcription program picks the wrong word sometimes, you know, because in English we have the same.
Yes.
You know, we have homonyms that sound the same, but they mean something else. And that's not the hardest part. The hardest part is the punctuation. You got to go back and put the commas and the semicolons and the periods and the quotation marks. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've gone through even books that have been published for a while, and I'll find a set of quotation marks that are backwards on a sentence. One more space and the quotation mark leans to the right instead of the left to close out a sentence. That space is very difficult to find. So in the last book that I wrote, I thought, well, I'll get AI to help me with the punctuation. Surely it can, you know, get the punctuation right. So I wrote the chapter, which was about, I don't know, 9,000 words or so for a chapter, and get ChatGPT, for instance, to just fix the punctuation. It could not do it. It wanted to rewrite it. It wanted to, it took a 9,000 words and pared it down to 1,200 words. And I said, no, that's not what I want you to do. I don't want you to rewrite the chapter. I just want you to punctuate it. And it finally gave up after about 10 iterations. It said, I can't do it.
Well, my issue is like, I would say like U.S. Supreme Court. And then in some places I'd take U period, S period Supreme Court. And then I had a person that has some professional background in publishing, and she said, hey, you really need to try to standardize this, and then, so when you're sitting there going through a Word document and you're looking for every time you say U.S., or you get all of the times that you say, us, and then U.S. and something like, some other word, it's pretty painstaking to go through and do that. But I'm at the place that I'm going to drop it in the mail to you. It's not perfect. I know. Okay. I know it's not perfect. But I think you're going to enjoy it. It's an easy read. Like I say, it's only, about 12,000 words. And
he's pissing people off because it goes into 9/11 and everything else.
I do go into, yeah. Well, one of the things that I don't think a lot of people recognize.
He's pissing people off that aren't awake is what I mean, Brooks.
Yeah, is that, it's the 25th anniversary of Bush v. Gore. And I take, 20 pages and I talk about that personal accounting of that process. But then I transitioned 9 months after Bush was, sworn in as president, or the Twin Towers in 9/11, and from my perspective, you can't separate, it's not like, hey, here, a lot of people said, hey man, you should just write just about your accounting and be done. And I go, well, that's kind of a waste of a book, so we'll see. I'm very interested in your feedback, and I'll drop you a copy off.
Well, I applaud you for doing it. I mean, I hear people all the time, yeah, I'm writing a book. It's not published. I wish I could write it.
Chad.
I really want to write a book. And then I always I break their heart because I end up saying something like, no, you don't. No, yes, I do. No, you don't. If you wanted to write the book, you would write the book. You just want to say that you want to write the book. And you've been saying that for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, why were you pointing at me?
How long has your book been in the draft form? How long ago did you draft
I've written the book.
Okay.
I wrote 4 books in 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And
6 months
people ask me,
apiece.
how do you do that? I said, well, I set aside a time to write every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day I sit down and write. Now, sometimes I only write a paragraph.
Right.
Sometimes I write 10 pages.
Right.
But that's a professional. A professional writer writes every single day. Because if you don't write, if you only write when you're inspired, what will happen is when you're done with that book, it won't make a damn bit of sense.
Right.
Because you can't hold the thought for that long time. Once you get into the groove, or should I say into the spirit of your book,
right,
it takes over your life. It does things in your dreams, in your sleep. I used to ride my motorcycle to work and back, and I would write chapters while I was riding my bike. And then I would get home and I would just write until my fingers ached to try to get the words out that I came up with while I was riding the motorcycle.
That's so well said. I mean, he's alluding to a book that I wrote called A Year in Static, and I sent it to. I wallpapered one of my entire walls.
With rejection letters.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
You know,
I had a file drawer full of them.
Yeah.
It really wasn't until I think it was Barnes and Noble had a method for self-writers called Pubbit, and it was difficult to use. You had to be able to translate your book into HTML, but once you learn how to format in HTML, you could publish books, and I published 3 books that way. And then Create Space came along, which was a contractor for Amazon. And then they became so successful that they became Kindle Direct Publishing, KDP. And now KDP is really the only, it's a mainstream source of self-publishing. It's a process we call POD, print on demand. In the old days, when you wanted to publish a book, you went to a publisher, you gave them $40,000, and they would print you 8,000 or 7,000 copies of your book, and they would do basic marketing. That's about it. The rest of the marketing is up to you. And that's how you publish books. And you had your garage full of, 800, 900 books until you sold them all. And then you had another printing. That was the old way of publishing books. And that's the way politicians do it. Politicians, when they quote, write a book and they get $1 million advance for writing the book.
Ghostwriter.
They'll print 100,000 copies, which will immediately get you on the New York Times bestseller list, or on the New York Times list, not the bestseller list, but the New York Times list. It takes either 100,000 copies, or I think it's a $25,000 fee to get on the New York Times list. If your book sells, then you're successful. If it doesn't sell, that's what the book insurance is for. They buy all the copies back and shred them.
Boom.
Well, you're going to have to.
If you want to get your book in a bookstore, like in the old days, it was B. Dalton bookstores, or it was one of the big chain bookstores like that. It was a book insurance was about $7,000 a title. So if you had one book in print, it was $7,000 book insurance per year. So I had 10 books in print, and I looked at my budget, and I was going, I'm going to spend $70,000 on book insurance just to have my book in Barnes and Noble and Books A Million and these other stores. I said, forget it. I'm going to sell all my books online. And that's what I did. And I put 2 kids through college and paid for half a house.
There you go. I want you to tell me how to do that. So take a look at the document and be brutally honest. And I'm hoping you really like it.
Okay.
I'm pleased with it. I really like where it's ended up and turned out.
Somebody handed me a book by Richard Bach long time ago. I was in high school. I think it was a junior high school. It was called Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Mm-hmm. And I read the book in one English class, one sitting. I just started it and I finished it 45 minutes later.
Yeah.
And that book was a journey. It was a trip, just about a dumb bird flying and having fun flying.
Right.
And of course, if you read Richard Bach, half of his books are about flying, like The Reluctant Messiah is about a biplane pilot called Shimoda, who recruits another biplane, a barnstormer, but teaches him the principles of Jesus while they're flying. That's called The Reluctant Messiah. Really well done books. A lot of books about flying, but they're a quick read.
Right. Well, that's what this is. I mean, I'm in the Word document, 11, 8 by 11 or whatever it is. I think it's 38 pages. So
8.5 by 11. So if we put it in regular book format, 6 by 9.
Right, that's this.
Then you basically double the number of pages.
Right, it's right at 80. Yes, and at 80, they told me at where I was getting some printed. At 80, it's big enough to get a backing and glued and that type of stuff. At essentially 40, at this point, you got to do this little spiral bound. And it actually, I'm okay with this. I didn't think I would want that printed on both sides. Oh, where's it like that? You know, I did, but it makes it easy. You can flip it over and you just read, and then you just flip it over. So that's the version that you're going to get. But so we'll see. We'll see.
I had a good friend. His name was William Henry. He was basically an Egyptian mythologist, and he was a travel journalist. That's what I would call him. But he also was a good public speaker.
Wasn't he on Coast?
Yeah, he's on Coast a bunch of times.
Yeah.
He published his first, I think, 10 books spiral bound like that.
Yeah, we'll see. I can't make it. I don't want to make it any bigger. I'm not sure. I mean, I could probably stretch it out a little bit, but I just don't think that adds anything to it. I tell my story. I tell my thoughts after, you know, the next 25 years, and it is what it is. And quick, easy read, you know, an hour and a half, maybe, you know.
If you're a slow reader.
Yeah, not many people out there can do 80 pages an hour, but
yeah,
that's true.
about an hour and a half, you know.
Hour and a half.
Yeah, hour and a half, too, whatever. It surely can be done in one setting or two short settings.
yeah, 2 short settings, sure.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the movie or the movie called The 3-Body Problem?
No.
It was a Hugo Award winner, I think it was in 1957. It was a long time ago, but they ended up making it into a movie called The 3-Body Problem. And it was a story about a planet that orbits 3 suns.
Ooh.
And sometimes it freezes, sometimes it boils, and sometimes it's weightless. So they have to start over their civilization often. And so it caused them to develop very slowly. But then they ended up getting space travel in one of those single periods of stability. And during that period of time happened to be World War II in the world. And in China, there was this dish that they set up to listen to different radio signals and even outer space radio signals. But, you know, we didn't have anything in space in World War II. We didn't put the first thing up until Sputnik, you know, what was that, 56, 57? So what happens is this dish in China begins receiving these messages from this other world, this 3-body problem world. And things are bad in China. I mean, really bad. They're cutting down all the forests. They're raping their country, trying to survive World War II, because China was just devastated during World War II. So this one rogue physicist figures out how to send a message back. Everybody's been trying to do it because they think the messages are coming from Jupiter. So they keep sending the message to Jupiter, and nobody answers them. She gets this wild idea to send the message to the sun, because she figures out that the messages are actually coming through the sun, bouncing off Jupiter and reaching Earth. So that's why we think it's coming from Jupiter. All the other countries in the world think it's coming. So she sends a message back through the sun, and they answer back. And what does she ask for? She asks for them to come to Earth and fix this fucking world. You know, you're so much more advanced than we are. You got to come here. You got to help us straighten things out. During this conversation, the people in the 3-body problem world figure out that Earth has extended periods of stability, which is something they don't have. So they decide to make the trip to Earth. It's a 400-year trip to get to Earth. But they figure out that in 400 years, Earth is going to be so far advanced compared to them that as soon as they pop out of whatever hyperspace they're fashioning, we'll just wipe them out. So they're basically sealing their doom. So they create this subspace communication method, which, by the way, I talk about in Remembering the Future, and I also discussed with Dr. Jim Bell at Caltech long before. In fact, it still hasn't been invented yet, but I talk about it.
My favorite book.
I have it on my coffee table.
What they start doing is confounding the physicists, making the physicists of Earth come up with wrong answers. And it begins driving them crazy. A lot of them commit suicide over it. What they're trying to do is stunt Earth's growth so that by the time the aliens get here, they could defeat us and take our stable world from us. And that's what the three-body problem is about. It was a great Hugo Award-winning book. I think it was, I'm not sure if it was written in French originally, but anyway, it's translated in English. The movie's been put on social media, or not social media, but Netflix, I think. And part 2 of it is getting ready to come out. So I'm reading the book, Three-Body Problem, because I want to see the whole story before it comes out in the movies.
I'm writing it down.
I think it's
right
a fascinating challenge.
Sure.
I'm writing it down right now, Brooks.
Three-body problem. It's not for everybody. It's it's like reading Isaac Asimov. He's a physicist too, and he wrote his infamous Foundation series. Well, I read it in high school, so I was the ultimate geek nerd in high school. But I read the Foundation series in high school. Now they've made Foundation into a TV series and took some artistic license with it, but they got to expose millions and millions of people to Isaac Asimov, which is, I think, wonderful.
Exactly. Very nice. Keith, you're gonna get this to Brooks.
I'm gonna drop a copy of it in when I send him his 2 T-shirts that
Coffee mug.
Yeah, in the coffee mug. There are 2 T-shirts from the show with Roger.
Brooks,
I was going to say I wear a double extra large. This shirt's a double extra large, but I am now down to 229 pounds.
You just want an extra large?
I'm scared because
How about if I give you one of each? I'm going to send you 2. How about if I send you an extra large and a double extra large?
Okay, that's fine.
There you go.
Brooks, when you were talking earlier, like we were talking about A Year in Static briefly, the book that Keith's getting a thumb drive of tonight and all this, but when I got done writing A Year in Static, it's a novel, right? And the main character, Milwaukee Thomas, I got all those characters, but when I finished the book, I had separation anxiety.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You feel like an empty nester. Like,
yes.
What do you mean it's done?
Yeah. I missed Milwaukee. I missed all the characters, and what are they doing now? Yeah. Yeah. It's weird. You were painting that so eloquently earlier, and then I'm reliving getting done with writing A Year in Static, and I was like, yeah. It made me miss.
I know that feeling. I finished Birth, Volume 1, and I went on Coast to Coast, and we talked about it. And George asked me, "So when are you going to start Volume 2?" I said, "Oh, probably a year." I started it the next day.
Nah.
It woke me up the next morning, and I started Volume 2. And 500 pages later, that one was done, and I started on Volume 3 the very next day. And then once I finished Birth 3, I was telling my accountant, now I'm going to write this book about the deep state wars. He said, "Oh, Brooks, don't write that book. If you write, you're going to get in so much trouble. Whatever you do, don't write that book." I wrote that book so fast, I blazed through that book. But he was right. He was right, because I was spending between $8,000 and $10,000 a month on Facebook ads, and I was getting between 300 and 400,000 engagements a month on Facebook, and I was selling books. When I published Charm of Favor, it went from 349,000 average to zero engagements. And I increased my ad budget, and I talked to Facebook. I said, what's going on? Did I push a wrong button or something? What's going on? I was being shadow banned so hard. None of my ads got any engagements, and they were amazing ads.
Wow.
That says a lot about, censorship in general.
It is. I mean, that's the thing about, when you're advertising and you're selling, you scale it. So if you spend 500 and you make 1,000, great, I made $500.
Right.
So you spend 1,000 and you make 3,000. Oh, great, I made $2,000. And when you're making $10,000 a month profit, your ad buys are pretty healthy because it's working. But it went from that to nothing, to zero. They did not let anybody see. Even people that followed me on Facebook didn't see my ads.
Wow. You mentioned that, and I don't know if you can see that, but there's our good friend Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
He's in my. You mentioned Facebook ads and censorship, and so I cover a lot of ground in here, and we'll see. I cover it very quickly. I kind of call it a easy but yet kind of dense read. Some people might have to go back and read it.
Well, I figured out another way to do it, and Charm of Favor became a #1 bestseller 4 times on Amazon.
Follow his lead.
That's what I said. That's why he's going to.
It needs to be a big screen movie. That book is just, when you read that book, well, it was timely in 2018 when I wrote it.
Right.
By 2024, almost everything in the book had come to pass that I had written about.
Right.
So you still, when you read it, you're going to go, wow, that really happened. Wow, that really happened. That happened. Well, it hadn't happened yet when I wrote it in 2018.
Right. Yeah. Oh, things are changing rapidly. We're less than 90 days away from midterms, and I'll be honest. We've had some big elections in the last 5 to 10 years, but I think this midterm election, if the Republicans can hold the House and the Senate, I think they're going to continue to make progress. And
there are some things that say you're going to be right. Like there's 10 seats or so that the Republicans picked up through redistricting. There are 12 Democrats that are not running. They're out. Nadler and Jasmine Crotchet, and there are 10 or 12 Democrats. They're out.
Right.
And oddly enough, the ones where their districts still exist, a lot of those Democrats have been replaced by communists.
Right.
In the primary. So now the communists are going to be running against Republicans for the first time in, I don't know, maybe ever, except maybe for mayor of New York. But no. But what was happening is Mamdani ran as a Democrat, but he was a communist.
Yeah.
Right.
But there was no path for a Republican mayor of New York. There just wasn't. Just
Right.
like AOC, runs in the Bronx, and Tina Forty is a Bronx resident, and everybody knows her. She's super famous woman. But there are no Republicans in the Bronx.
Right.
It doesn't matter if every single one of them vote for her. She can't win.
Right. It'll be interesting. Bottom line is I'm reasonably good with the Senate. House, we'll see. I'd really like
I think the House is going to be the big spread for me. They're going to go from where they are now to probably a 15 or 20 seat spread in the House. It's going to be It's going to be dramatic.
You think they're going to increase 10 or 12 seats?
Yeah.
I'm very, very, man, wouldn't that change the dynamics?
Well, you have Schumer who's holding on to power, but he is not powerful. Schumer's crippled.
Right.
He's not like Harry Reid. Harry Reid held on to power way too long, but then Schumer was his protege. So Harry Reid left, and then Schumer took over the reins. And Schumer was formidable for a while, but now he's not. Now he's weak. When you got somebody like Bernie Sanders, who has more money-raising ability than Schumer, your party's sick. It's sick. It has a mortal disease, and it just can't win. They don't have the money. They don't have the bench. They don't have the message, except hate Trump. And that's not a winning message. It just, you don't win with that.
I agree.
How do they not learn, though? I mean, it's like Bilderberg forgot how to tell people how to fuck the world up again. You know?
Yeah, but they don't have to. That's the thing, Chad. They don't have to have a message because they have a business plan of cheating.
Yeah,
they can steal elections, any election they want.
Great point.
That's a business plan for them. That's how they win. And it's proven, very functional for them since 2012. That's a long time. It's 14 years they've been running this business plan. And since Smartmatic machines and Dominion voting machines have been in place, they've been killing it.
Yeah. Oh shit. No, that's a great point. It's just sometimes. Yeah, you're right. It's outside looking in, you're like, I don't want you to change your tactics, but why don't you? Because you're just you're screwing stuff up. It's amazing. This whole DSA thing. Brooks and I were at a DSA luncheon last week. Just kidding, Brooks. And but the whole DSA thing, it's scary, but it's also good because I think the country's like, yeah, no.
Well, it's frightening because now they're getting a national message out, a national voice out. And where the Democrat Party has been hurt, Planned Parenthood has been truncated, Act Blue is under investigation, USAID has been cut off. They don't have the money for those down ballot races like they did. That's why a lot of them have dropped out of the race. But the DSA does have the money. They have lots of money, and that's why they're able to take these weak Democrat primaries. I'm only hoping that doesn't turn into billions of dollars of backing. Now it's in the hundreds of millions. But if it doesn't turn into billions of dollars in backing, then they will lose at the polls. Now they keep saying this public message that, young people are warming up to socialism. No, they're not. No, they're not. That's just something they're saying.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. I'm glad to hear you say that, Brooks, because that's exactly what I've been trying to get through to not Keith, but to other people. There's some pessimists out there, and I try not to be a pessimist.
Well, they run this
not to you at all. You understand?
On the college campuses all the time. And it's very, very simple to explain to a college student. Go to any A student, somebody that's got a 4.0 or 3.75, and say, you've done really well. You've worked hard. You get these great grades. This is awesome. Would you be willing to share some of your A's with some of the D students? No. Well, no. See, don't you think it's unfair that they get a D and you have an A? Well, no. I work my ass off of that. I'm smart. I'm in the library every day, and the D students down at the bar every Tuesday night getting hammered. Well, yeah, but let's look at it. Their whole life is ahead of them, and they need that advantage they need to at least get a C. Don't you think it would be fair that just give you both C's? Take your A, knock it to a C, take their D and knock it to a C. You both get C's. Everybody's happy, right? They say, well, no effing way.
Right.
Welcome to socialism.
Now take a seat. Sit down and watch. Reminds me of a Soundgarden song, Brooks. Blow up the outside world. It starts exactly like that, what you just said. And the movie
Tears
trailer.
for Fears, Wild World. Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. That's perfectly put right there. And you're right. Here's the thing, that the majority of the, I'm sorry, we haven't lost all the so-called youth. You know, no, I think the majority of the so-called youth are leaning way more on the right than they usually would at a certain age, you know?
Well, I see it.
Yeah.
When I go speak at conferences, I love my crystal crunching friends. I love them all. And they buy the heck out of books. But they're all conservatives. I mean, I hate to tell you this. They got flowers in their hair and they like to smoke dope and everything, but they are all conservatives. They can't stand communism.
Yeah, I mean, and that would surprise some people. It would, but that is the truth. That is the truth.
I had a friend who I consider to be pretty intelligent. He was really bad-mouthing capitalism. And I said, his name is Chris. I said, Chris, do you even know what capitalism is? Because it doesn't sound like you do. And he said, well, why don't you explain it to me? I said, okay, this is capitalism. Let's say you have a 5-acre plot of land. You own it. The capitalism, you can grow whatever you want on that land. Obviously, you're not going to eat 5 acres worth of food if you grow food on that land. So you're going to sell the surplus. And the surplus is going to provide you money to buy a tractor, a car, put your kids through college, more land if you want. That's capitalism. That's capitalism. Socialism is socialism where you don't own the land. The state owns the land. And they get you to grow all the food you can grow on, and they take it all and leave you with what they think you can get by on. That's socialism.
I'm in, Brooks. You convinced me. Socialism. I'm just kidding. No, but you're right. You're right. It's that dude. I don't know that cat's name. Al Sayed. I don't know how some people
New York.
Al Sayed.
Yeah.
Oh,
He doesn't want to do much. Oh no, all we want to do is we want to control the schools and the hospitals, of course, and we want to control the housing. That's important. People got to have basic housing. So the interviewer is going, now wait a minute. So what you're saying is that you want basically the government to own all the housing and dole that out. You want to own all the schools and decide what is taught in school and who gets what grades. And you want to control all the healthcare. Well, yeah, basically that's it. And what he said, what fascinates me is the municipal ownership of energy and water. And if they can control that, why can't we control everything else?
There you go.
And I'll ask you a question. Any listener out there, anybody in the chat room, anybody happy with your utility bills?
Well, I don't think anyone is, right?
No.
I mean, I'm gonna save electricity and turn these lights off right now.
Now we can.
There you go. That's funny.
But yeah, I don't think anyone is.
Yeah, right.
No. I think the bottom line is that I get concerned anytime any level of government or anybody controls anything. I mean, the idea is that we should be free.
Because what happens is the government doesn't own it. It's a bureaucracy, and they're all just getting paid a salary, and they don't care about you or anybody else. Government doesn't own it. It's some theory, it's some ghost that owns it.
Right.
And there's no accounting at all. It's kind of like we were talking about Amazon. It's kind of like Amazon telling me each month I sold 42 books. Bullshit. I probably sold 500 books. You just don't tell me that I sold 500 books.
Wow. Yeah. Now that's the racket.
There's no audit.
Yeah.
There's no proof. There's nothing. I don't have the names. I don't have the addresses. I don't have the phone numbers of any of those people that bought my books.
They're just
if I write another one, I have to start all over again. I can't contact those buyers that bought volume 1 to tell them, hey, volume 2 is out, because I don't have that contact information. I had to be very creative to get that contact information. You know how I do it?
Tell me.
I give away the audio version of it for free. But I put the email address to get the audio version in the book.
Yes.
So when they buy it from Amazon and they see right there an inside cover, gosh, I can get the audiobook for free by just writing this email address. Hell yeah. Boom. I have their name and I have their email address. And
I've looked into some self-publishing, and there are some self-publishings that do give you the contact information.
Not that I know of.
I have some ads of they say they do, so, and I say
I've tried 3 of them, not Amazon. 3 others.
No, I know Amazon does not, but
I tried Author House. I tried Universal, Universal, and I tried one other one. They do not provide the buyer's contact information.
Is that for the purpose of them grifting off of you?
Yes.
That's what
they
I'm
get
saying.
the database. They get to send them ads
Yeah.
for books that they're publishing,
right,
but not books you're publishing.
What a bunch of...
And it was simple. I went down to them. I went to Florida and I sat down with them and I said, here's what I want you to do. I want you to add a box on that buy page. I agree to be notified when this author writes another book. Just put X in that box. They opt in, and they would not do it.
There you go.
Huh.
Well, I will try tomorrow, sometime midday or so, to see which self-publisher advertises that you get the contact information, and I'll send that to you.
Okay.
Now it may be that it's not true, or there may be something I'm overlooking, but I have been key to that in the last couple of weeks as I'm looking at self-publishing.
Well, I've built my database up to a little over 10,000, and I have sold probably 200,000 books. So I'd like to have the names and email addresses of the 200,000 people that bought my books.
Oh, it's tremendous.
It's Chad Holtzclaw.
I have yours.
You have Brooks's address, right?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Oh, you don't have Brooks's address?
I have his email and I have his
Okay,
phone number,
I'll give it to you tonight.
Okay.
Keith stays the night here in case you people wonder. Okay.
I do.
When we enjoy some wine and some food, and he stays here. He has his own pillow and blanket. He does. He has his own room, everything. It's all good. He's not,
Not taking off in the middle of the night as an old man and shouldn't be driving at night.
But yeah, so I'll give you, I'll get that address information and all that, and I'll just go ahead and say it on air. Brooks's address, everyone, is.
Yeah, go come by and see me.
Oh man. Yeah, so Gage, Toronto in October. What if we get you here in October?
That's fine. I'm down for it.
Try.
Has to, yeah. It's on Saturday night, right? Yeah, 'cause I have grandkids I take to
We'll
school.
have to sell some books. Get them here.
Well, I've got a lot of stuff in the moving and shaking stuff going on. We can do October. I would like to bring you in on a Friday if you can. On a Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and that way we can hang out, and we can hang out, have a great time, take you to a great restaurant. Saturday, all that, obviously cook, do show dinner, and do the show. There's enough space here. We've done it before with Adam, so there'll be another chair. It's like, who gets to sit next to Brooks? No, you do. No, I do.
We'll put Brooks in the middle. I'll get way over here on this little keyboard thing and let you guys go at it. But I think Brooks is.
Well, all you need to do is add another camera.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. We'll put another camera in. It's all
I
cool.
have 2 cameras.
Nice. I like that angle there, Brooks.
That's
That's awesome. Yeah,
I have to look over here though.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a great camera angle right there, man. But yeah, we can have a. I want to take him to. Well, who knows? We'll figure it out. But I want to take him to Chef Tom Gray's restaurant in Town Center.
Yeah.
We're not driving there, Brooks. We're having Black Car Service take us.
All right.
Because number one, yeah, it's not going to be Uber. It's going to be Black Car Service. But the thing is, no one wants to drive in. Town Center sucks to drive in.
But that's where the good restaurants are.
Yes.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is a zoo.
It's ridiculous.
It is.
It's I don't know how I don't know how that was I don't know why. Town Center is just ridiculous.
I think UNF doubled its enrollment, and they just weren't prepared for it. I mean, it's our local colleges.
Town Center is like its own city inside of Jacksonville, Brooks.
Yeah.
That's how crazy it is. They might as well have their own police department or something. It's just weird. And I cannot stand. GPS doesn't do you any good in Town Center. Take a left after the next right. You just the stop sign. You didn't tell me about I can't deal with it. But Chef Tom Gray's restaurant, I think you shall enjoy. Very much so.
Good. I'm looking forward to it.
Used to be the head chef at Bistro X down in San Marco before he got his own restaurant deal. Yeah. It's good stuff. Brooks, when people, what are we at the time here? Brooks,
we're at 5 and we got to wake Tony up because I heard him.
Our producer's snoring.
He is.
We'll have to wake him up.
He got it.
There you go. Brooks, is there any? Keith's going to be. Is there any chance to talk to you in depth tomorrow? I know you don't like talking right after we get off air because you got other stuff to do.
Yes, yeah, we can talk tomorrow for sure.
What's a good time for Keith and I to talk to you tomorrow?
Probably the middle of the day.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. We shall give you some a telephono call, whatever those things used to be called. I so miss Brooks' answering machine and
you told me today. I
cord.
didn't know that 411 wasn't a thing anymore. I was about ready to try it on my cell phone.
Yeah, 411. I don't know when 411 went out. I was telling Brooks. I was telling Keith earlier that my best friend Dick Johnson, who I talk about a lot on this show and everything. After the thing happened when Jen was no longer around, he like lived with me for a while, to keep me from I don't know, maybe unaliving myself to go back to the YouTube thing. But he and I did some crazy shit, but we have some of the best prank phone calls on tape. From back in the day, like early, like 2002, 2003, and 411 was still a thing. So we'd call 411 and we'd tape the phone calls, and then we'd call Walmart in the middle of the night, strip clubs, escort services. They're all prank phone calls, but they were great. But yeah, 411. I don't know when that went away, or if it's still around. We had Nextel phones, Brooks. Remember the Nextel?
I do.
The push to talk, those were cool.
Yeah.
I would love a push to talk phone. I mean, literally, it's like you got a radio, but I could boom. Hey, Brooks.
Yep. All my maintenance guys had Nextels.
Yeah, those were cool phones, man. I love those. That was my first phone. Remember, I didn't have a phone until 2004. Cell phone.
I liked my Razor phone.
Mm-hmm.
Those always looked cool to me. Much cooler than the damn Blackberries. Those always look stupid.
Yeah, I started in the smartphone day. I think it was 2006. I started with Blackberries. And in 2012, I got my first iPhone. And that changed everything.
Everything. That was the same for me. When I got my first smartphone, Jazz, was an iPhone. I've been on Android for quite some time, but yeah, you talk about game changing, and then you get, and I'm still mad at myself because if I I'm getting better about it. I'll go to the grocery store without my phone.
Wow.
Because you can't. I get mad at myself. It's like you feel naked without your effing phone.
Well, I have a discount app, the market that I go to, and you pull the app up and they scan it, and you get a discount for everything you buy.
Oh, I get you there. I'm just trying to wean myself from always being dependent on. It's like back in the day. It's like if you, I know you can't go to a payphone now. But back in the day, when you left your house, you weren't worrying about, oh shit, I left my phone, because you didn't have a phone. You'll call.
I had a beeper.
You had a beeper. There you go. But you can go into a store or find a payphone somewhere.
Yep.
I don't think there are payphones. I don't even think there are payphones in the airports anymore.
I had a running joke with someone who needs to get his ass back on this show, Scotty Hare. We love you,
Scotty.
We love you, Scotty Hare. I had a running joke that Scott Hare is starting his telephone booth business. It's like he's going to bring back payphones and telephone booths. But yeah, that's anyway. That's how we're ending the show tonight, folks. Just joking around about pagers, and I miss answering machines, Brooks. I do. Oh, and CC Lyles. It was CC Lyles that we need to play that clip of.
Okay.
CC Lyles, who called her husband from American 70, from United 93, which was never in the air.
Yeah.
9/11. I forgot her name last Saturday night, and of course, the moment we got off air, I was like, "Oh yeah, CC Lyles." But we'll have to play that after we have Richard Gage on.
I actually do have a question for you after the show here.
Well, I mean, I do pee standing up.
Nope, well, that's
not the question.
That's
okay.
not the question.
Okay.
All right, Tony, I'm about ready to
hey,
do
Brooks,
my dance here as soon as Chad gets us out of here.
Brooks, when people go to brooksagnew.com, what are they looking for?
Right on the cover, you'll see my picture, and it'll say, I'm Brooks Agnew. That's how you know you're at the right site. There are two blue buttons. The one on the right says, get my free newsletter. It doesn't get any more straightforward than that. It's free. It's a newsletter. It doesn't cost anything. Comes out Wednesdays and Sundays. Has some goodies in it. Has a click to the last night's program, so you can share it with your friends or listen to it if you missed it. The other button is Ivan and Roxy, Fen Ben and Me Ben without a prescription. You know what you want. You know why you want it. You just don't know where to get it. Now you do. Click on that blue button. It'll take you right to my health and safety page inside my website, and you can get all that stuff for yourself, wholesale, shipped directly to your house with no prescription.
Perfect.
Sounds like an awesome webpage to me.
brooksagnew.com, brooksagnew.com, which includes all of his incredible books and Brooks Sunday nights, 8 p.m., Wednesday nights, 8 p.m., X Squared Radio, America Free. You tell them how they listen to your show. They need to listen to your show, too.
My show?
Yeah, I'm saying.
What platforms are you on?
Go everywhere. YouTube, Rumble, DLive, X, Foxhole, Truth Refugee, everywhere where podcasting is listened to, except for Spotify, you can find me. Just put in my name and it'll all come up.
brooksagnew.com. Brooks, great show as always with you again, my friend, and we'll try and hit you up mid afternoon tomorrow, something like that.
Okay.
Sounds great. And brooksagnew.com. Brooks, once again, great show, Keith.
Hey man, Chad, I've enjoyed it. I'm glad to be back. We're going to have an awesome time between now and the election in early November. Let's go.
Sounds great. For our elusive engineer, producer Tony, Sentinel, Scott Hare, Adam Earth, and the luscious Bob Austin. You just heard the great and one and only Dr. Brooks Agnew, brooksagnew.com. Until next time, let justice be done, though the heavens fall. I'm Chad. This is Earth. Brooks, have a great night, my brother.
Thank you.
Dance for me, Keith. Dance. High five.
All right. Woohoo. Need to go pee.
My new pen is leaking. That's annoying. My wife